step would be to go to the superintendent or the school, the board of
I did call them today. I couldn't get in touch
Okay.
with them, but I did call a bunch of people today, and I printed out everything they had as well.
Yeah. So the way to get it to stop and to get your situation to move forward would be that, like something like
Right.
that.
Can we?
With them, yeah. What's your name again?
Lauren.
Can you give me 1 second to let me talk with him really quick for a second? You want to just stay with her out there?
You need to talk alone before I come in?
Yeah, I'd like to, I got your side of the story. I'd like to get his side of the story.
Sure. Go ahead.
You understand what I'm saying? That's usually how we conduct an investigation.
Sure.
Okay. Do you mind just stepping out with him so you talk?
Stand out here with me for now.
Thank you. So what exactly happened?
Because to have someone tell you they're a principal and they can take your child wherever they want and not have written permission is insane. Excuse me. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm Lauren.
Lauren, hi, I'm Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Nice to meet
Have a
you.
seat.
No, I'm okay. I'll
good?
stand.
Okay.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't want to sit.
So,
I printed out some documents because I feel like maybe, I don't know if there's a misunderstanding or if like the school system is a little uneducated. By law in Connecticut and everywhere else, you're not allowed to take children off this premises without the permission of an adult. Yeah,
Okay,
no, it's, let me finish speaking.
Okay.
What you did was illegal. It was kidnapping. You taking my child off this premises without my permission or her father's is kidnapping. It's not it is kidnapping. And you're not allowed to do that. So why wasn't I notified of a field trip 30 days in advance?
Okay. So
Are you going to answer my question or no? Why wasn't I notified of this field trip?
I'm gonna tell you. Okay. Okay. And you told the whole kidnapping thing. I says, geez, I said, and I told you, I said, maybe I'm wrong.
I am recording you, by the way.
And I'm sorry.
I am recording you,
Okay.
by the way.
I said, maybe I'm wrong. So I called the Board of Ed, and I said, I kind of relayed the story. And this is what I got. I actually wrote it down. They said, this is a co-curricular activity. It's suggested to inform, but don't need permission, as it's expected that students will participate as part of the normal school day. Students never physically left Board of Ed jurisdiction.
They physically left this location.
Okay. I'm telling you what I was told.
No, wait, let me speak. So what you're saying is, if there is a state-owned building, you can take my child to it, is what you're saying. If it's Board of Ed property, that's what you just said. You said you can take my child off this premises. That is a lie, and that is not the law.
Can I
Sure,
say something?
go ahead.
So, I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong. I'm not getting. This is just the policy that the Board of Ed is giving. So he's only capable of doing so much. So with this.
Who made the calls?
Can I finish?
Can I finish another question I have?
I was talking though. Give me 1
Okay,
second.
go ahead.
So this particular thing right here, I say take that to the Board of Ed, and then see what their policy is. Maybe they're not aware of what you
The
are.
laws?
Maybe he's only capable of doing so much. He did that. This is the Board of Ed now. So the next thing you would go to would be the Board of Ed and show them what you have, and say, why are you doing this? This doesn't go. Whatever your situation may be. Do you understand?
I do. Also, I have another question.
Okay.
Aside from that situation, the children ate at this, wherever they went to go eat. There was no signature put for what they were eating at all. And now my daughter is sick this morning, and that's why she's not here. So I now need to go to the hospital after this and have her stomach checked because I have no idea what she ate, and she won't eat today. So that's the issue. That's why these laws are in place. So you don't take children from where they're supposed to be. Feed them whatever foods you want to feed them without the consent of an adult. And also, if you crashed, a car accident, terrorist act, anything could have happened on the way from here to there with a bus full of students, and it was double packed. Why was the bus with 60 kids on it and there was no room for teachers?
There were staff on there.
There was one teacher on the bus, and there was 3 kids to a seat.
There were 3 kids in the seat.
There were.
Yeah.
Which is also illegal. I'm not understanding what you guys aren't understanding, and just leave the school though. So let's see the paper. Can I keep this? Because I plan on it.
I just want to share this with you as well.
You can, but I'd
So-
like to take it home as well.
Okay, but I'm right here.
I know you're right here. I'm recording the paper so I
Okay.
can have documents of it.
All right. So on Friday, April 29th, I had all the teachers send out a message. I said, before you go home, let the parents know that they're trip.
Friday night?
Friday night.
Friday night,
Friday
as
night.
the politicians do. So Friday night,
No,
you sent an email out that no
April-
one got.
April 19th. Well, everyone got it.
No, I didn't receive it
No.
as her parent. I did not get an email saying you were taking my child off the school premises at all.
Okay, well, let me finish. Okay? So this morning, I go to the teacher and I said, did you send out the email?
Could continue. I'm
And-
listening.
And he said, yes, I did. I said, okay, well, where is it? So he goes, let me look for it. He goes on his computer. He says, here it is. And I go, he goes, oh. Look,
What?
is that your email address?
It doesn't matter if I
No,
got
no,
an
no.
email. I
You
didn't
got-
open
you
an
got-
email from you, and you didn't have a signed consent to take her out of school. So you can send an email saying you're going to Disney World. You still can't take her signature and permission. You're not allowed to do that, sir. Neither is the teacher or anyone else. This is literal kidnapping.
Once again, he's only capable of doing so much.
Who
He's a-
authorized the field trip? Who authorized this trip? Who wanted this trip to happen? Where did this come from?
This is a Board of Ed.
So it's a Board of
So
Ed
I-
decision,
I-
and a Board of
I-
Ed decided they can take our children. So the Board of Ed chose to do it, and then they backdoored stole our kids.
So, like I said, you need to just go up to the Board of Ed. Is there any personal...
Oh, no, don't worry. I got what's getting here. I'm gonna contact the news. I've already put it on social media. I've got all of your names. I've got all of your information. I will see the Board of Ed. I will see a lawyer, and I'll probably see you in court. And one day, hopefully, every person in jail, because that's kidnapping, and that's against the law. I don't need to speak anything else. I'm already getting excited. It's against the law. I will be seeing you and drawing my children from school. So I'm gonna need the paperwork on that, please. Now. She's not coming back to a school where you're telling me you are lawfully allowed to take her wherever you want. Not happening.
He's saying Board of Ed policy.
Board of
We're
Ed
only-
property, he said. Anywhere the Board of Ed says that's their property, their property's not the street.
he said-
They don't own the street.
Listen, he said, but he gave you their policy. That's what I'm telling you. You need to go to the Board of Ed.
The Board of
And
Ed
they need-
policy is squash when it comes to the
I
law.
understand that, but you gotta explain that to them. You gotta go to the Board.
I don't need to explain to you the law. You're the police, you're the school, they're the Board of Ed. I don't have to explain to you the law. You people know the law. And that's the point of me coming here. You know what you did was wrong, and they know what you did was wrong too. And you also said you've done it before. So have you done this with my child before, or is this just other children that no one knows about? Because you said you've done it before. And you've routinely done this. How long have they routinely done this for?
I'm done talking.
Oh, I thought so.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Can I have the paper that the Board of Ed gave you so I can prove what you're saying?
You can make her a copy.
Can I have that paper?
You can make her a copy.
Okay.
So now that he's being recorded, he'll give me the paper.
I will be.
Make a copy.